Welcome to week 3 of 21 days of prayer and fasting. I hope that you have enjoyed this as much as we have here at Hope Point. The goal of this, again, is to get God's heart and to ask Him boldly for big things. We are believing for breakthrough for you this year. Week 3's focus is really all about health, wholeness, and hope. And so I want to talk with you a little bit about hope, because Hope Point has a long, amazing, God-honoring, faith-filled history of how we held on to hope and saw God move in big ways. One of the ways is the building right behind me. Over 30 years ago, with a lot less people and a lot less money, a group of believers thought that God could do something impossible, and this building was built. Of course He did it. He always does. But what's interesting about this is that this building was supposed to be a fourth of the size. God sovereignly spoke to our pastor, then Pastor Steve Stells, our founding pastor, through a man of God who had come, a missionary from Mexico, and said, you need to buy 4 times more steel. Well, the church didn't have the money to do that. The steel was already purchased, but by faith, we obeyed the word of the Lord. And aren't we glad that we did, because we certainly use every bit of space that we've got. Amazing story of provision after amazing story of provision followed that. We were selling a part of our property to 288, and as they were paving that road, some mud got into one of our creeks and they found a dead crayfish, and the man came and said, hey, I want to make this right. And we said, it's no big deal, don't worry about it. He said, no, I want to do something. What do you need? I've got all this paving equipment. And we said, well, none of our property is paved and we're building a new building. He said, how about I pave all of it for free? We had another situation where we needed a bunch of sheetrock and didn't really have the funds to sheetrock the building or anything like that. A gentleman calls up and said, hey, I'm down at the Richmond train station and we just got a ton of pallets of sheetrock. Somebody ordered them and is refusing shipment because a little corner is cracked off of each of the pallets. They won't accept them. We're going to take a loss. Do you guys want them? We were able to sheetrock this building and about every other building on the property. Can you believe God's favor? That would be such a huge feat today. The money that it would cost, and it was then too. But God has always been faithful, church, and He will be. There's a reason that we hold on to hope. Paul writes to Timothy and calls Jesus Christ his hope, and He's our hope. The Bible also says in Hebrews 10:23, let us hold firmly to the hope we profess, knowing that God is faithful to fulfill His promises. I know that God is faithful because we've seen Him work in the past, we're seeing Him work now, and we know He's going to work in the future, in your life and in the life of Hope Point Church. So raise your expectations with us, raise your faith, raise your hope, and this week, believe that God is going to do big things in the coming year. Hold on to hope.